All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome back to another NetherRealm Studios update. Actually, I think this might be the first update in a long time because Ed Boon has come out and done a interview with Game Informer, and the interview literally just came out 10 minutes ago. A lot of people were tagging me in the interview, telling me there's a specific answer from Ed Boon that points at the future of NetherRealm Studios, and literally the question is, what's the future of NetherRealm Studios? But before anything, Ed, if you watch this, I just want to say congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction to the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. His award or his induction is going to be tonight at 8 p.m. at the DICE Awards. Now let's get on to the questions and answers. There's two that I want to read to you guys. The first one is, something that I want to reiterate about NetherRealm's development cycle. I told you guys in the other video that while NetherRealm is working on one game, they're already thinking about the next game before the current game is even out. And Lord Boon pretty much confirmed this, which he had already mentioned before, but a lot of people didn't believe me. They're like, nah, man, you got to put all your time into this. NetherRealm is working with a giant group of people. So here's Ed Boon's, answer to that. So the person asking the question says, what is your typical day now at NetherRealm Studios? And Ed Boon says, I'm much more involved in the early part of the development. When we figure out what we are going to do, for each game, I go into thinking, what's going to be new about it that will get people excited? Defining it helps with the direction. At some point, we know what the game is. We know it will have 20 environments and 30 characters. All the big components are known. And after that, it's kind of time reduction. At that point, I'm more checking in on various aspects of the game, making suggestions and stuff. I may also be working on ideas for the next game. I'm trying to stay ahead of it. But the bulk of the work is done by the crazy talented designers, programmers, artists, and the list goes on and on. So there you guys have it. I told you guys that NetherRealm's development process is, while they're working on their current game, they're already thinking about what's going to be coming next. And it's interesting that, the next game has taken this long. But here we go. This is the big question right here. What's next for NetherRealm? Shout out to Andrew Rayner for conducting this interview. What is next for NetherRealm? And Ed Boon's response was, I can say that for 10 years, we were releasing Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Mortal Kombat and Injustice. When we broke that pattern, there was a lot of speculation of what we would be doing next. I can tell you there was a reason for it. And when we announce our next game, it'll make a lot more sense. At this point, I'll get in a lot of trouble if I say anything more. Boom. So I think that's literally the first sort of tidbit of information that we've gotten of what's to come for NetherRealm Studios, to be honest with you guys. I can't think of anything else other than the NetherRealm Twitter page saying that they're stopping support on MK11. This is literally it, and this is a big one because what I take away from this, and this is not a confirmation from Ed Boon, I don't want anybody taking it the wrong way. This is not a confirmation at all. This is just what I'm taking away from this answer is that we're not going to get Injustice 3. That's pretty much all I take away from this. Everything else is open to whatever's coming next. But what I take away from this interview, from this answer, is that we're not going to be getting Injustice 3. And for a lot of people, this is a huge positive because there's a lot of people who don't really like the Injustice play style. Injustice 1 and 2 were pretty much like the same mechanics, the same moves, the same game. Like Injustice 2 was a legacy game, meaning that it carried over pretty much everything from Injustice 1. So the older players could feel familiar with the game. That's pretty much how Injustice 2 was designed. So a lot of people didn't like that it retained that zone-heavy aspect. But what I take away from this answer, honestly, is that there's a 99.9999999% chance that we're not going to be getting Injustice 3. And to be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised because I've told you before, everything is pointing to a new Mortal Kombat game. Whether they're going to call it Mortal Kombat 12. I saw someone, say that they would like to be called Mortal Kombat X2. It's still technically 12, right? But it's like they bring back the playstyle of Mortal Kombat X and everything about that game. God damn, I would kiss the floor in front of Ed Boon while he's walking. Like literally every step if that were to happen, because you guys know how I feel about MKX. But literally everything is pointing to a new Mortal Kombat game. There's going to be a new Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 2, whatever they're going to call it, probably in 2023. So whether they release Mortal Kombat this year, like late this year, my thought was, my big brain idea was NetherRealm to release the new Mortal Kombat game, if they're working on it, on the same day that they released the original Mortal Kombat game back in 1992, which was in September. It was somewhere around September. I can't remember like the specific date, but it was like in September something. That would be iconic right there. Man, that would be awesome. Especially because it would be a 2022 release, and I'm dying for a new NetherRealm game. But the money prints itself. Whether they release it, let's just say they release it this year at the end of the year. The new Mortal Kombat movie comes out in 2023. They could just add in DLC characters based on the Mortal Kombat movie. They could put Cole Young in there. They might even do it from the base game. Everything is just perfectly lined up for Mortal Kombat to continue being, a huge name in the limelight, especially with the movie coming out, etc. 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat's release. So, it just adds more fuel to the fire of Mortal Kombat being the next game, whether it be Mortal Kombat 12 or what. Now, obviously, something could be DC, like they could still release a game DC related, but it would have to be something huge, like a DC versus Marvel. Like that's the only other thing I would see getting in the way of like releasing a Mortal Kombat game on the 30th year anniversary. Like something as huge as a DC versus Marvel. That's literally the only thing. I do not see a Mortal Kombat versus DC. I do not see a Shaolin Monks 2. I don't see a Mortal Kombat 11 like fucking ultimate remaster trilogy, whatever, where it's just MK11 with added characters, and I don't see any of that. What I see is a new Mortal Kombat game, new mechanics, new characters, just everything, a brand new game for the 30th anniversary. If that doesn't happen, it has to be something like astronomically video game industry changing huge, like a Marvel vs. DC game. But that's just speculation. But what's not, well, I guess it's still speculation, but what I'm more confident about is the fact that we're definitely not getting Injustice 3. That is, in my opinion, you never want to go 100% on something because there's always the slightest bit of chance, even if it's 0.00001. But I'm 99.99999% confident that we're not getting Injustice 3 based on the answer from Ed Boon himself. So that's the first like little tidbit that we've gotten for what's to come from NetherRealm Studios. And I'm going to report on any fucking information we get, like any actual concrete, solid information that we get, any answers from Ed Boon, any tweets that relate to what's coming. I'm going to try to cover as much as possible, and this was the first one, so it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks, months, whatever. What's going to happen, man? What is going to happen? But I could safely say that we're not going to be getting Injustice 3. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you aren't subscribed already, make sure you guys do so. And if you want to see some more, there's videos popping up on the screen right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.